Hi guys, my name is Macy Taylor, and I was partnered with Eunice, and we decided to do a sleepy time story. And so we went to the South Waco Library to tell a sleepy. So this is what it's going to be about.
My name is Eunice, and for our Engaged Learning project, my partner and I worked on a sleep science story time at the South Waco Library. I'm going to go over some points of discussion like what we did, our outcomes, and what we learned and what we can do differently, but also our good moments that we had during our project. My name is Eunice, and for our Engaged Learning project, my partner and I worked on a sleep science story time at the South Waco Library.
So the outcomes, there was probably about 40 people there, including children and adults. We were there for an hour from 10:30 to 11:30. There was high engagement throughout due to interactive songs, movement, and crafts, so that was good. They weren't just like sitting there kind of staring blankly at us. The lasting resource that we did was a pamphlet titled Sleep Success for Kids. It included information on how much sleep children needed, like ideal bedtime routines, and how light and screens can affect melatonin and affect their sleep overall, and how long it will take them. We designed it to be bright, brief, and practical for parents to use at home. And then there's a picture of it. It was super cute. Lessons we learned and what we would do differently. Okay. Lessons we learned was the songs were very helpful for keeping children focused and engaged during transition. It was a lot more useful than I expected because the kids, you could tell, were getting kind of bored whenever they were just being asked questions and just reading the book because they weren't really interacting as much. I realized that simpler is better. Reading just one story gave us more time for meaningful discussion and creativity where they could all speak and kind of not have to just sit there and be quiet. And we were going to read 2 to 3 books, but I decided once we read the first book and everything, then you could tell the kids were not going to pay attention to anymore. So, and then space matters. So having the 2 areas was a really good, helpful thing because it allowed kids to have a story space and have a craft space, and so it then helped maintain attention and excitement. What we would do differently is probably bring more backups of the pamphlet. I would plan a bit more transition time between the reading and crafts and stuff because it was kind of thrown last minute. I mean, we had planned with the librarian to do the last song and everything, but it just seemed kind of rushed, but that's okay. And come up with better engagement things to do for the young age and their attention span and everything.
good moments that we had and a positive reflection was that we saw how powerful it can be for real science to play into a playful and meaningful experience. But seeing on the kids' face how excited they were, it was really enjoyable because we appreciate it, and we are happy that we're able to give them really helpful information, as well as to the parents, and give them informational tips about what they can do to help their kids as well. Thank you.